So the original agenda was we were going to do a little introduction. I'm going to go through kind of my story and a timeline of my story and the point of why we're here. And then I was going to show you an org chart, but I can flip it around and show you when we get there. And then some questions and networking. And the library is a beautiful space to do it anyway, so why not? So in the session that I attended in March, which was the first time that I met Tim, the presentation was about getting over the breakup. Now, this breakup was not a romantic breakup, but losing a job. In this case, most of the people that were there were probably terminated from big oil and gas company and had to rebuild. And at the end of the session, during the Q&A, one lady, Michelle, asked the question, at what point do you settle for, the job? You just take it and kind of decide that this is going to do. And the answer that Julie gave at the time is kind of what prompted me to now be in front of you to give this talk, because the answer that Julie gave was like, it's going to be different for everyone when it's time to settle. And the best way to know if it's the right thing for you to do is to talk to the people closest to you. Speak to your board of directors. And when she said that, a light bulb went off for me, because inadvertently, that is how I had been living my life for the last 6 years. And kind of going through that is what I'm going to do now to kind of give you the rundown of what happened. So I originally started building this board of directors by adding a psychologist to my org chart. This was originally to kind of help me get through a divorce that I was going through. That kind of culminated, unfortunately, that psychologist was being relocated to Texas. So I was now left without a psychologist to kind of help me along, but I had learned a lot from her. So when a bit later I was faced with a breakup from a job, I had some information that I could use to kind of work with. But at that same time, I was going through some personal changes as well. My mental health was deteriorating quite a bit. I was at work and I would just start crying out of the blue. And at that time I decided, I really need to go see my family doctor. So kind of added another medical professional to my ever-growing org chart to kind of talk about what I was going through. She diagnosed me with a mental health condition, prescribed medication. At that time, I wasn't ready to kind of accept that. And I felt that now that I knew what was wrong with me, I would be able to kind of manage the situation on my own, kind of with the help that I'd received from the psychologist originally. I did that for a few months until that really wasn't working at all anymore. My job started feeling the effects of that. My relationships started breaking down. So I went back to that family doctor and said, hey, could you maybe refer me to a psychiatrist that could help me, figure out what the right medication, what the right path that I could take would be. So she did that. Finally, I accepted the reality that, hey, I really can't do this on my own, and started the medication. And this was probably one of the best things that I could have done at the time, because in July of 2020, now we all know what happened in March of 2020. So March of 2020 was kind of really hard. Following that medication, I was starting to feel like myself again. COVID hits in July of 2020. I'm starting to plan this really big hike out in the Kootenays with some friends. And coming out of the shower one morning, I felt a lump on my breast. In September, I was diagnosed as malignant, and I was diagnosed with breast cancer. So, for anyone it was big news. It was very hard. But I can look at it now and see that all these people that were there helping me kind of helped me through that as well. And without having all these additional people that I could rely upon, I definitely would have had a much harder time going through that diagnosis. So yeah, I went through that today. My scans are clear. Everything's fine. The long distance relationship that I had while I was going through the treatment kind of terminated. So that ended. And so I was, I traveled for a while, kind of found myself again. And it was at that time that I really was able to appreciate that support network, that team that I had, that I could rely on for those hard things. With the cancer treatment, things like cooking meals, I was able to do it, but it was really nice to not have to. I could ask my friends to, hey, could you guys make me some lasagnas that I could throw in the freezer so that I could just throw them in the microwave and eat when I need to. And, those people want to help you. They want to see you succeed, so they can step up when you're not fully able to kind of manage the situation that's going on. So the kind of main message that I had for this presentation was to, kind of come back and look at, go home, sit down and look at the people that you have in your life, whether they be medical professionals, friends, people that you meet at networking events like this, any hobbies that you have. There's people there that you already have, like-minded people that kind of think the same as you, enjoy the same things as you do. Those people can be an amazing resource for any problems that you have in your life, because as we know, unexpected things happen. And when these unexpected things happen, knowing who your board of directors is, your personal board of directors, is who can help you get through those moments. Knowing that, they've probably gone through unexpected things before and can ad-lib and move the venue to a new location, figure out how you're going to get through this. That's the message. Just sit down, think of the people you have in your life that can help you, whether it's going through a health struggle, actual emotional breakup, a job loss, your car breaks down. It doesn't matter. Any problem that you're faced with, you really can look at the people in your life that are there for you and that can help you. This is my little org chart. So you have yourself as the CEO, because you are the CEO of your life. And that's another thing that I kind of learned through this process, is that at the end of the day, no one is going to advocate for you other than yourself. So you have to be sure that, you get information from these people to figure out what your values are, do the work to find out what's important to you. And then these people can kind of support you through any decision that you have as the president of your own personal company. So, there's definitely friends and family. My best friend from high school is going to look at this and laugh. Family, medical professionals. And I recognize that sometimes it's a place of privilege to be able to access some of these services, but there are many community programs that are available that can help, to reach out if you do need help. And those services could also be part of kind of an org chart like this. I had networking in here as the core of why I'm here. Like I said, the first time I came to this presentation with Tim was 2 months ago. And without Tim and without all these people, I probably would never have had the courage to stand up here in a last-minute venue at a library to give this talk. So yeah, your friends, business professionals. One person that I didn't mention in my speech or in my talk was my life coach. She is the one that really helped me plan how I was going to go through things, how I was going to be myself again after going through the diagnosis. Helped me make a plan of how we were going to tackle things and how we were going to get through the hard things. And you know, sometimes it was as simple as, okay, what do you want to do today? And it was like, you know, I'd really like to be able to get out of bed and maybe go downstairs and walk around the building. And she'd be like, great, we're going to work on that, nothing more. And then there's personal networks. In this case, I have November Project on here, which is also on here, and Sistership, which are two community organizations that I absolutely love. So November Project is a community-based fitness program. It's 100% free, $0 lifetime membership. The one cost is that it is at 6:15 a.m. outside year-round. So if it's minus 35, they're there, but it really helped me with accountability and just saying, hey, I'm going to be there tomorrow. And knowing that I had people that were depending on me to be there because I said I would, and knowing that they would be there for me as well. Sistership is a dragon boat racing team. This particular association is for breast cancer survivors. So anyone in the group, no offense, hope I don't see you on my team. But it's, you know, community organizations like that that can support you are you know, you need them as part of your of that board of directors to help you through things. And in case you couldn't hear, she asked what gave me the courage to kind of put these people in the board of directors. I think at the end of the day is recognizing that going through a breast cancer diagnosis and going through hard things in general, it doesn't matter. It's not a race to the bottom. So what my hard is doesn't mean it's any harder than what your hard is. And knowing that there are people that can help you go through that hard, I think for me is kind of what made me realize that these people were my board of directors. They're the people that I can delegate hard things to when they're too hard for me to do on my own. And just that recognition that you don't have to do it alone, I think is a lot of what kind of gives me that courage to talk about that and you know, really reinforce that there are people that want to help you and that can help you, and you shouldn't be afraid to ask because they want to see you succeed. And asking them to do that for them is a gift that they can give you. Because one of the hardest things to answer when you're going through something hard is, what can I do for you? I don't know. What do you need? I don't know what I need. But if you can identify what it is that you need and what the hard thing is, and let them know. So I knew when I got diagnosed that people would want to help. I'm like, you know what? They're going to want to do something. And I don't know what I'm going to need. So I'm going to get in front of that and say, hey, you know what? I'm going to need to eat. Basic need. Doesn't have to be a lot. And I sent a message on Facebook and said, hey, I know you're going to want to help. Give me food. Feed me so I don't have to. Best gift out of that, though, was the Skip the Dishes gift card. In case you ever have any friends that go through it. Gift card's the best because then you can order the Blizzard from Dairy Queen and you really don't want to eat real food. It's, you know, friends want to help and they're going to say, what can I do? And you might not know at that time. But when you do know what it is, ask. Just, you know, they're your board of directors. They're there to help you. So delegate. If he wants to feel normal again, then it's kind of like, hey, can we come over and play board games? Like whatever it is that you used to do before that he can still do, you know, offer to do that without the without the message of, we're trying to help you, we're trying to do something for you. Just do what he wants. He's asking you to treat him as before.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can give him that as much as possible, of course, with your concerns of, him isolating himself, and you don't want him to do that, that's natural.
Mm-hmm.
But if he wants to be treated like before, I would try to do that and see, if there are any resources in the community that can help as well, that could help with, the issues that he is going through. Again, that does cross the line, but I would say, try to treat him as normal
Mm-hmm.
or as before. Kind of, he's still the same person.
Mm-hmm.
Likes the same things as he did before his back problem. So what did he like before? Do you like to watch movies? Great, let's have a movie night. Without bringing up the...
Mm-hmm.
You should go out and play a lot, and now he can't do anything.
Yeah, you can always, there might be ways that you can modify what it was that you did before to do it so that he's capable of doing it without putting the focus on what he can no longer do.